All right, I am recording. Okay, I gavel in the meeting at 5:32 p.m. Welcome everybody. Um, Happy um, holidays coming up. I will. I guess we'll go right into roll call. If you could say your name, your pronoun, your position, and then let's do. If you could have three apps on your phone, what would they be? And Candice, do you mind starting us off?
Oh my God. Um, my name is Candice Martinez Doan. I'm the Assistant Director for Leadership and Governance. I also serve as SGA Advisor. I use she, her, hers pronouns. And if I could have three apps on my phone, besides, you mean like besides the ones that already come on your phone? Yes? Okay. Instagram. Um, Instacart. And the Target app. That's me.
Nice. I gotta download the Target app now. B.
Hi everyone, my name is Beatrice Gutierrez Malagon. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the coordinator for leadership and campus life. I also serve as SGA Senate Advisor. If I were to have three apps, it would be uh, Instagram, eBay, and
Instagram and eBay. I forgot
What was the last one?
Time Hop.
Time Hop. I've never heard of Time Hop before.
So Time Hop essentially shows you pictures from the past, whether it's on your social media accounts or on your phone, and it shows you from your past on the day, like as of the day that you're looking at it.
Oh,
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I gotta try that out. Lai. I saw that you just joined us. If you could just introduce yourself, name, pronouns, um, and if you could have three apps on your phone, what would they be?
Like apps that I don't already have on my phone?
Uh, if you can only have three apps out of the entirety of the app library.
Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't realize. Wow. That's hard. That's hard. Anyway, hi, my name's Lai. I use she, her, and they, them pronouns. And if I had to have three apps, Google Calendar, Gmail, and then probably BitLife, just to make it fun.
BitLife. Wow, what a throwback. Thanks, Lai. Emmanuel.
Hello. How's everyone doing? My name is Emmanuel, as you know. Senate. If I could have any hot, I would say Apple Music, Instagram, and Robin Hood.
Hmm. I'm sorry, but I'm a Spotify user. Erica.
Oh, hi, America, Secretary. If I could have three apps on my phone, I would get, first of all, it's Amazon because I buy everything. Then 8 Ball Pool, and then YouTube Music.
Oh, YouTube Music. I'm sorry, Spotify's still better.
Oh, Spotify's trash.
Oh, okay, we'll debate on this later. Francesca?
Hello, my name is Francesca Burton. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am an FYA shadowing the Senate. I guess my three apps would be Discord, TikTok, and the app that lets me connect my camera to my phone.
I'm sorry, but Yik Yak is better than TikTok. Julius.
Hello, name's Julius Gale. Pronouns are he, him, his. SGA Senator. Free apps I would have on my phone. Telegram, TD Ameritrade, and probably MetaTrader 4, which is more just like investment stuff.
Ooh, that's just I gotta look into my investments too. That's very smart. Thanks, Julius. Maria.
Hi, my name's Maria. My pronouns are she or hers. I'm an SGA senator, and if I could only have 3 apps on my phone, they would be Discord, Instagram, and Google Maps.
Google Maps. Ooh, it's better than iMaps. I keep saying what's better than what. I don't know why I keep doing that. Thanks, Maria. Mati. Oh, Mati typed in the chat, I believe. Yes. Mati, she, her pronouns, SGA Senator, and Mati uses the Bible app, YouTube, and web novels. Never heard of web novels before. Should look into it. Mena. Thank you, Mati. Mena.
Hi, my name is Menna. I'm an SGA senator, she, hers pronouns. And if I was to keep 3 apps on my phone, it would be TikTok, Google Maps, and Instagram, probably.
Relatable. Thanks, Mena. Patrick.
Hey guys, my name is Patrick. I'm a senator for the SGA. Pronouns are he, him, his. 3 apps I would do Spotify, 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 Twitter, and probably Hulu.
Oh, I haven't used Hulu in a while. Thanks, Patrick. Richard. If you could introduce yourself and pronouns and 3 apps only 3 apps you could have on your phone. Okay, while we wait for Richard, Wendy, do you mind going?
Not at all. Hi guys, I'm Wendy, she, her, they pronouns. I'm the Assistant Speaker of the Senate, and I would say Spotify, Twitter, and Waze, because I have no sense of direction.
Yes, Waze, 100%. And last but not least, Z. Oh, I see that Richard has typed in the chat. Richard is a freshman at UMC and would have Spotify, Safari, and YouTube. I think those are my 3 go-tos actually too. Same with you, Richard. Yeah, I didn't even think of Safari. Okay, and Z.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Yes, please introduce.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I had a lot of trouble calling in. I'm currently not here. I'm like traveling for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm a sophomore, SGA Senator, pronouns are she, her, hers, and the 3 apps, is it that like I'd want on my phone or like I can't live without?
More like Desert Island, 3 apps, only 3 apps you can have on your phone.
Oh, then assuming I have cell service, messages, email, and Google Maps.
Actually, email would have to be one of my top 3 also. Oh gosh, there's so many to choose. But yeah, thanks, Nail Bidet, and no worries. Okay, so we will now go ahead and move along with our land acknowledgement provided by our very own. I can't remember their full title. Yes, Dr. Jasmine Lee, the Director of Inclusive Excellence, stating, related to our value of inclusive excellence, we would like to acknowledge that UMBC is built on the native tribal lands of the indigenous Piscataway Conoy tribes. We acknowledge the painful history of forced removal from this territory, honor their history as cultivators of this land, and respect the many diverse indigenous peoples still connected to this land on which we gather. even if we are gathering online. Thank you for sticking with me with that. And let's move on to the approval of the agenda. Is the agenda to everyone's liking? Is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve the agenda. Sorry.
Second, you're good.
We got a second. Is there unanimous consent? General consent? Yes. Okay. And let's move on to the approval of the minutes. I believe that this was all paraphrased, but that is a-okay by me because the point still gets across. So I hope you all had a chance to look across after minutes. If there's any amendments that I may have missed, I don't see any amendments. Is there a motion on the floor?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
And we got a second. All right. Is there general consent? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got general consent. All right. So with the minutes approved, we shall move on to the two confirmations on our table from last week. I hope you remember. Oh gosh, I'm going to butcher their name again. Sahib? Saiba. Thank you for correcting me. Yes, this is the confirmation Saiba for the coordinator for the Department of Communications. We interviewed her last week, and yeah, from the straw poll, I see that there was approval. And if there are any last minute discussion that y'all want to make, the floor is available. But if not, we can go ahead and
Move to approve SL 29-2021.
Second.
All right.
Point of order.
Point of order.
If I want to state for the record that they are eligible to hold these positions,
Yes.
as I have also put in the chat.
Yes, thank you, Candace. I forgot to ask that earlier. I'm trying to remember how to get this polling situation. Okay. For now, can rescind motion approved, seconded. So all those in favor, senators, all four, can you please type in aye in the chat? Because I did not prepare this poll earlier. And only voting members of the Senate, please.
I'm counting 8, and I believe Kayla is not here today.
Yeah, Richard, this is a new position that we are putting in for our communications department because they are very loaded with work right now. So this is a new position, and this was tabled from last week, and we interviewed this person, and interview went well, and we couldn't move forward until we had the confirmation for academic standing. Yeah.
Kai, we have 9-4.
9-4. Thank you, Wendy. So we have 9-4. We have 0 opposed, 0 abstaining, 2 not present. Right? Yeah. And with that, this passes the Senate. Yay. Congratulations. What is today? Clickety clack. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Mahira. Yes, same thing. Same thing from last week. This was tabled to this week to be confirmed. Interview process was met last week, and if there are any discussion points that want to be made, the floor is available. If not, is there a motion?
I move to approve SL 30-2021.
Second.
There's a second. Okay. This is different on the Mac for polling. So if number of senators for, could y'all please type in I in the chat? Okay. How many is this? Did I count 9 as well?
Yeah, I think that's 9.
Okay. And with that, there are 9, 4, 0 opposed, 0 abstaining, 2 not present. And with that, this passes the Senate. I can't type today. Yay. Congratulations, Mahira.
Kai, it's 23rd.
It's the 23rd today. Wow.
We had Senate meetings on Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow. My day is very flipped if you can't tell. Cool. We'll move on to our confirmation for election board. Is Mark here with us?
Real quick, double check the other confirmation that you didn't type in the wrong date.
Yeah, I just changed it. Thank you.
Also, Kai, it looks like Mark is not in the call at the moment.
Okay. We can go ahead and move on to Max Mason. Unfortunately, he has a class during our Senate meeting and cannot join us. But I can speak on behalf of him. However, I do have to mention that I will have to abstain from voting since of my close friendship with Max. This is for the election board member. Max Mason was part of the election board 2 years ago, I believe, under Jessica Kwan, when Jessica Kwan was the chair, and Max Mason is reapplying for a position for this year. He has a very wonderful work ethic. Oh, the voting results were 9002. Max Mason was a former RA for Harbor for 2 years, as well as a member in the community CC, the community center for Susquehanna Hall 3 years ago. Great work ethic. I highly recommend. Again, I do have to abstain, but yeah. Is there any point of discussion that anyone wants to talk about? Can help fill in.
Hey, do you know anything about Max's schedule or other time commitments this semester?
Yes. So, although he does have an internship, it's just wrapping up, so he will be free this spring semester. His course load, I believe, is going to be around 16 to 18 credits. He's still determining whether or not he's going to drop one class. Most likely going to drop one class. I'm telling him to drop one class. He is no longer an RA because of the whole pandemic situation. Other than that, it's just classes and wrapping up an internship. Yeah. Is there any questions I can help fill in?
I also wanted to clarify, is everyone who's being newly confirmed eligible for their positions?
Yes, Candace. Thank you so much, Wendy. Candace, is Max Mason eligible for this position?
Yes, he is. I also thought, did Max submit a video for to nominating committee?
I wasn't present in the most recent nominating committee meetings, so I
thought
am
he
not sure,
did.
but
Hold on, let
I
me
believe
double
he did.
check because I think that might be of use to the group. Because I can imagine that it is difficult while they trust you, Kai. It probably is difficult to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look here. Where is it?
A point of clarification, every member that applied for the election board did submit a video interview type, a one-way video interview. And that is a good point. I did not think about playing that, which makes a lot more sense now that I wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find them. Let's see. I know they are on the Google Drive. If I could find them. Hold on.
Candace, they were in the interjudicial under election board in the Google
Thank
Drive.
you. Thank you very much.
No doubt.
Should I go ahead and play it on my screen? Or
Yes. Yes.
let's see. Election board. Okay, I see it now. Oh, great. Okay. Move it over here. Are y'all able to see it? Yes. Okay. Let me know if you're able to hear this.
Okay,
We can hear it.
let's run through these questions. Introduce yourself as you see fit. Hi, my name is Maximilian Mason. I identify with he, him, his pronouns. I'm a fourth year mechanical engineering major at UMBC. I grew up in the DMV. I'm the son of two immigrants, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to possibly work with the SGA e-board again. Why would you make a good candidate for the election board? Well, I'm someone who gets fulfillment by building connection with other people, and I'm someone who welcomes interaction with those who I don't know, which I think is a pretty awesome characteristic to have for someone in this position. I also truly believe in the importance of student governance and acting on the duty to vote. And for these reasons, I think I'm someone that you want working to get more students involved with SGA elections. What is the extent of your on-campus involvement? Parentheses, jobs, clubs, leadership positions, etica. Prior to the pandemic, I was a third-year resident assistant in the residence halls. I was the vice president of the astronomy club. I was the captain of my intramural flag football team. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, I had to step away from my on-campus positions. But however, I still hold close connections to all of these groups, which is pretty awesome. What experiences do you feel are applicable, beneficial for you to perform your duties as an election board official? Well, I think the most obvious applicable experience is I've already worked with the SGA e-board, so I know the work that needs to be put in, and I know the challenges that we face. Additionally, as an RA, I learned how to make some of the best flyers you've ever seen. I actually gave a little seminar while I was an RA on how to make effective flyers and how to market them to make people want to come to your programs. And then I also learned how to do simple and effective programming, and how to manage a semester budget for those programs. Have you voted during past SGA elections? If so, what tactics do you think we can employ to increase our voter turnout, especially virtually? So I voted in every SGA election since I've been at UMBC. I think the most important ways to encourage voter turnout is incentivizing voting and to promote how easy it is to vote. So I remember the first time I voted, I was really reluctant because I thought it was going to be a huge hassle and I didn't want to pour that much time at once into something that wasn't a part of my academic schedule. But I was really surprised at how easy it was to do, and that's what I told people when I was sitting at my polling desk at the library or at the breezeway. So I think ensuring how easy it is to vote is a great way to get the students involved. I also think really simple incentives like raffles are a great way to make people come out, especially with a virtual election. Because if someone told me I could win an Amazon gift card by filling out an SGA poll from my desk at home, I would do that so fast it's not even funny. But those are some things I think I'd like to try to employ if I get the opportunity to work with the board again. How do you handle disagreements and conflicts when you're working as a part of a team? So during the many groups I've been a part of, I've had to deal with many different kinds of conflicts. As an RA, I'm trained in conflict management and restorative practices. Also, I'm a very direct person and choose to address problems with others as they arise. And when others bring problems to me, I choose to listen and empathize with them because I understand that the intention of my actions might not always align with the impact of those actions on others. Do you have any connections with any individuals that have expressed intent to run in next semester's election? I have not. I don't think anyone has come up to me and be like, Max, I want to run for SGA next semester. That being said, I could easily talk to some of my underclassmen friends about the benefits of running for election if that's something that would be beneficial to us. And with that, I think that concludes the SGA election board nomination questions. If you have any more questions for me, you can email me at mmason3@umbc.edu. Thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we have virtual Max. Are there any? Yeah, what do y'all think? Did that help? Yes.
I think that he's pretty experienced as an RA, so that plus his other clubs and the fact that Kai's vouching for him, I feel pretty confident.
Yeah, thanks, Wendy. Yeah, former experience, has a lot of experience in restorative practices and conflict management from RA experience, as well as input on suggestions to improve in the future. C'est la vie, more like, I don't know. Yes. Are there any more discussion points? If not, Julie says in the chat, I'm good. I step away to get my charger and rest my eye. My vote would be fine. Okay, duly noted. Thank you, Julie. Is there a motion on the floor if there are no more discussion points to be made?
I move to approve JR 14-2021.
Second.
There's a second. All right. I hope this works. I'm going to open up a poll. Senators, please vote. Voting members, please vote.
It looks great.
Yes. Figured it out. I don't know. I don't think I am able to vote in my own poll, but I vote aye for on the record. All right, wait, no, I have to abstain.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you were abstaining.
Yes, I have to abstain. So we have 8 for aye.
So Nail Benet has texted me that she also wants to vote aye.
Okay, so that would be 9.
Wait, Kai, would that be 8 because you're abstaining? I'm good. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I can't do math. You're right, it's 9.
Yes, with Julius. So 9. 0 opposed, 1 abstaining, 1 not present. And with that, this passes the Senate. Next move is through the Finance Board, and Sierra will let them know. Today's the 23rd, yes. I learned from my mistake. So, cool. All right, next.
Looks like Mark isn't here.
Yes, Lai, do you prefer to go next, or do you want to go right after Mark?
Is Mark here? If so, he's first up.
He is not available, but we can play his video.
Sure, go on ahead. No problem.
Oh, with you or with Mark?
Oh, with Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull up Mark. I'll close this. Oh, I do something. Nope, I'm not saving it. Okay, let me know if y'all are. Can y'all see? Okay, and I will go ahead and play.
Hello, my name is Mark Nang. I'm a first-year student at UMBC. I really like to work with the SGA, working with elections, and I also could do financial side, like with Treasury or accounting possibly. Now with campus involvement, obviously I'm a first-year student, and because of COVID, I haven't been able to do much on campus. I am part of Hack UMBC and Hillel. In high school, I did some things such as band section leader and captain of my wrestling team. I've worked with political campaigns before for the 2012, 2016, and 2020 elections on the presidential level. I also was in student government in middle school. I was vice president for my class. I've obviously never voted in the UMBC SGA election. I have in high school, but I imagine they're much different at a collegiate level. With disagreements, I typically try to put myself in another person's position. I'll try to look through their lens and get an understanding where they're coming from. And I usually try to compromise with them. I also don't know anybody I don't know anybody who wants to run for any elections next semester either. And finally, I mean, I'd like to try out other roles too. I mean, I'm open to, I don't have any examples off the top of my head really, but if you have any roles that you need filled, I'd love to try out any roles as well. Thanks.
All right. That was Mark Nate. Yeah, is there any comments? Looks like he does have some level of experience. Yeah, he did mention that he participated in the most recent presidential election. That is true, and he is also a first-year student. So having that perspective as a freshman is a great opportunity for an incoming student. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think like it's nice to have a mix of all years.
Yes, this is for the election board. Let me pull up the document. My apologies. Yes, this is for the election board members. The election board members are in charge of the process for our spring elections for presidential, vice president, treasurer, senators, finance board representatives that are all elected officers for SGA. Mati says in the chat, can improve over time with more opportunities. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's for me personally, it's always hard determining a first year student because of this being a very new experience. However, that new experience, although there is a learning curve to everything, I think is important to have in a team for that fresh perspective. And he does have prior experience. So, yeah, is there anything anybody else would like to add or mention? Is he coming to the meeting? I never got an email back from him, so I do not have a definite answer if he is joining our meeting.
I can send him a message on WebEx Teams.
Yeah, if you would all like to table this for now, if you want to gather more information, we are more able to do so. If you feel confident in your vote, then we can vote. It is all up to your discretion. I don't know. But we are all senators, so yes. I think it would be good to meet with him. Okay. That way we can ask more questions. I agree. So until we hear back from him, would y'all like this to be... Is it more reasonable to table this for now until we get more feedback from him or more get to know you from him? Okay. Yes, I think we should table it for now, says Mena and Mati. Agreed. Okay, so I guess this will be tabled until further notice. Lai! Hi, Lai. You are up next.
Hello.
Hello, Opa.
You could watch my video, but it's 13 minutes long, so you'd probably have to run it at 2 times speed. Good thing I am here, so you can avoid that.
Yeah. Just give us just introduce yourself and why you're best suited for this role. Floor is all yours.
All right, sure. No problem. Hi, for those of you who do not know me, my name's Lai. I am a current sophomore here at UMBC. I am majoring in global studies and economics. I am a member of the Honors College, and over the summer, I was an OPA. I also served as a Woolly this semester, as well as a peer facilitator. I am the current director of events for the Resident Student Association, and overall, I feel like this position, once I did more research into it and looked into information, talked with Caleb Cagle about the position, I definitely feel like it is within my interest to help serve the election board as best I can. Mostly because not only is the election board important to make sure that the student body has a representative voice within UMBC, which is so important going forward during COVID. But also mostly because I feel like it's a very interdisciplinary position where we not only handle the elections itself, but also budgeting purposes and event purposes and trying to get the word out to as many UMBC students. Particularly freshmen would be my focus, mostly because they are not too familiar with the UMBC, especially the SGA process that y'all have going on. The first time I voted was last year, and it was very interesting to me having it online, and it is most likely going to be the same way now. So I definitely am hoping to be able to help the election board in not only getting the message out to students, but also making sure that we don't leave our freshmen behind during this period. It's been a hard transition for some of them. As an OPA and as a Woolly, I've noticed that some of them are still kind of confused, even a few months in, about how UMBC works, how the college experience works. And I'm definitely hoping that my skills in communications, reaching out to people, as well as my previous skills in event planning with RSA and SEB, along with being able to balance a budget properly through the events I host, will help me make a good candidate. Thank you.
Thanks, Lai. Yeah. I should probably abstain from this vote also, only because Lai and I have not only worked together as OPAs, I was Lai's OPA, and I'm very proud to see Lai in all these.
Lai, Kai, let's go. It's the devil deal.
Also RSA experience, sorority, leadership. Like you're in a bunch of different things, and that's a lot of different outlets to help plug in the elections. So very, very helpful. Yeah, thank you. Is there any questions for Lai?
Questions, concerns? What is my schedule for next semester? So I'm going to put this in terms that provides context. For the people who have known me previously, they know that I usually take an interesting amount of credits. So this semester, I am currently taking 22 credits, and that is 7 classes, along with my duties as a Woolly, RSA, peer facilitating, sorority things. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of bored. I'm a little bit bored. I am not a STEM major, thank goodness. If I was a STEM major, that'd be bad. But basically, I'm explaining this context because next semester I will be taking around the same amount of credits, 20, 22, depending on my approval. But I'm very experienced with balancing my schedule properly. Currently, out of my 7 classes, one of them is a writing intensive, and I still have all A's at the moment. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. So even though I juggle a lot of things, I've always been able to maintain my schedule, my GPA, and my mental health, and everything that we consider important for student life here. How am I bored? I like challenges. I like new challenges. I like meeting new people. COVID has made it so I haven't met a lot of new people. We hosted midnight breakfast a few days ago. That was exciting, but yeah, honestly, it's not so much as boredom as more like I am ready for new challenges. I'm ready to work with new people, and that's actually one of the reasons I was interested in the election board to begin with.
Oh my gosh.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Wendy.
So I see that you have a lot on your plate, but I'm really confident that you can handle it. I wanted to hear about any specific plans that you had to reach out to the younger students, especially if they're already overwhelmed with just classes and life in general. How are you going to get them to want to vote?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I did think about this, including the outreach that we had to do as OPAs to connect with students who had no idea how UMBC worked. And then later with Woolies, I worked with a group of students who were on campus, the Honors LLC. And I found that between the two groups, the engagement for specific content was the same. They weren't exactly entirely too interested in just sitting on a Zoom call hearing information for like an hour, but they liked to talk about their interests, their hopes for UMBC. And I did that through having one-on-one sessions or small group settings with them. And I found that while working for RSA and doing virtual events, that it was kind of the same thing. Now, there are two groups of freshmen that we can categorize during this following semester when the voting process would happen. One is the on-campus students and one is the off-campus students. For on-campus students, engagement is very directed when you are able to approach them in a way that I guess connects to their interest of being on campus because they already have a tangible physical view of what campus life could be. So being able to tap into that already for Resident Student Association, just through virtual engagement, even through emails and just reminders on like a Discord server or on group chats really connects to them. Off campus is a little bit tricky, and I kind of got experience through this through peer facilitating. They also responded well to one-on-one interaction, but they especially responded well when they were given kind of direct feedback, kind of answering their questions and providing them questions to ask. They don't really know where to start with when asking questions about UMBC. How could they? So if you are providing them questions and answers, that will pique their interest. And the election process with SGA, I think definitely is one thing that a good number of students would be interested in, especially since they're hoping to gain a connection to the rest of the student body that they feel like they aren't able to get. So that's kind of how I go through it. Obviously, I can't reach to every single one of the freshmen, which is why the election board, all together with all our connections, I'm hoping we'll be able to do something like that. Thanks for the question, by the way.
Thanks so much. That was a great answer.
Beautiful. That was beautiful. Are there any more questions for live?
If you got a tough one, don't worry. I can take it. It's all right.
Candace, do you have your hand raised?
No, that's old.
Oh.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'll lower it.
Is Lai eligible for this position?
Yes.
I'd hope so.
Yes, Lai is very eligible for this position.
Why would I be here if I wasn't? I'd hope.
All right. Well, with that all being done and said, if there are no more discussion points to be made or any more questions, is there a motion on the floor for this confirmation?
Moves to approve JL 16-2021.
And we got a second and a second. So we got force. All right. I'll open up the poll. All voting members, senators, please vote. Senators only.
And Nayla Benet has texted me. Aye.
Okay. And I also.
Yo, Mina, did you like the midnight breakfast? Sorry for interrupting. She went to midnight breakfast. Oh my goodness. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
I talked to you there. 0. I do have to abstain. President 1 and. All right, with that, this passes the Senate. Congratulations, Lai.
Thank y'all so much. Do I stay or
Yes.
should I stay or should I go?
So your next steps moving forward is finance board confirmation tomorrow. Hopefully Sierra has communicated that with you. And yeah, you're more than welcome to stay. You're more than welcome to leave. It's all up to you, but congratulations and thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Also, Mina, I did remember you FaceTiming your friend and I was like, is she videotaping? But yeah, thanks so much for coming and thank y'all so much for having me. I will see you all around.
Thanks. Have a good night. Okay. May, I don't see May.
I don't think May is here, and Mark has not responded.
Okay. Well, we can move on to May. And they did not submit. Oh, yes. May did not submit a video record. All right.
She didn't submit a video, but I think she did submit written responses.
Oh, she did. Is this it? Lumen PDF. Is this? Oh, thanks, Candace.
You're welcome. I dropped the link in the chat.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. So May typed their response instead of a video submission. So I guess I can read this out loud. This is May Zhang. Amazing. She is a junior biochemistry major. Why would she make a good candidate? She served 2 terms early this year and a year prior. Despite the unexpected circumstances regarding everything going virtual last election cycle, my colleagues and I still managed to hold a successful election process. Having experienced elections virtually, I believe I can offer ideas of what worked well last year, ideas I can help improve and bring in new ideas as well. I understand what is to be expected of me and familiar with the policies implemented by the election board. I work well with others and enjoy working on the election board. Extent of your campus involvement, work in Dr. Summers' research lab. Oh my gosh, that's a tough lab. A TA for cell biology, learning assistant for general chemistry 101 and 102. What experiences do you feel are applicable, beneficial for you to perform your duties? They have experience with advertisement and updating students through announcements on UMBC web platform, most likely meaning my UMBC. Have experiences with budget planning, materials for events, brainstorming and organizing events, i.e. trivia night. Have you voted during past SGA elections? Yes, I have voted during past SGA elections. Having weekly announcements to update the students regarding the SGA election board is doing and future events that is to be expected. Hold virtual events, i.e. game night, invite speakers like Dr. Young or Dr. Rabowski to talk to the students. How do you handle disagreements and conflicts when working as part of a team? Listen to each side, have civil discourse, and compromise on the disagreements. Get inputs from other people. Do you have any connections with any individual that has expressed intent to run in next semester's election? No, as of right now. Additional info you would like to share? NA. Cool. Again, I do have to abstain from this vote due to close friendship of May, and also due to the fact that May was my tutor for Chem 101, 102, Bio 141, 142, 302, 303, Bio 300 lab. So that is where we are with that.
Can I just speak about some personal experience just knowing May?
Yes, of course.
So I met May at Stride, and I think she's very responsible, and she did a great job last year. So even though she's not here right now, I would feel really confident voting aye right now.
Yeah, speaking from my relationship with May, very hard worker, get things done on time, and like very precise person. Learned a lot of leadership development through Strive. I believe they were in, I forgot whose pod, Roby's pod.
I think so, but it was my year and Julius's year.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Anybody else? How do you all feel about May Zhang? May Zhang. I would like to point out that May's Chinese name is Ya, so it's Ya Mei Zhang, and I find that very cool. Amazing.
Can I move to approve JL 12-2021?
Yes.
Second.
All right, we got a second. Oh shoot, I forgot to set up the poll.
We can just type it in the chat.
Yes, please. All four, please press please type in I in the chat. There we go.
Wait, Kai, I thought you were abstaining.
Oh yes, that's right. I keep forgetting. I am abstaining. I want that to be on the record. Chem 101, 102, 102 lab, 141, 142, 302, 303, 300 lab.
I have 7 eyes so far.
Naila Benet, what do you vote?
Oh, I texted Wendy, but I said aye.
Oh yeah, I just saw. Sorry, that's my bad. So that's 8 aye, 1 abstain, 2 absent.
Oh, there it is. 9, 0, 1. Not present. 1. And with that, this passes. Congratulations, May. Oops. And this will go next to Foxport. Cool. Has Mark shown up yet?
No, not yet. I think we might just have to table that for the next meeting because I haven't heard anything.
Okay, so for now we will table Mark. For now. And our next line of order is an amendment to the SGA bylaws. Is Mershad here to speak about this?
He's not, but in the nominating committee, the way he explained this is to, oh wait, hold on.
I'm happy to explain it
Yeah, I'm
if
sorry, this is
need
not
be. Okay, so Mershad has created a proposal to create a committee to receive your monthly reports and then provide feedback on those monthly reports as a way to assess the overall effectiveness of the Student Government Association. So what Mershad is proposing is a joint committee made up of the executive branch and the legislative branch with representation from both of those branches on the committee to, like I said, receive your monthly reports, see if they are in alignment with goals that have been set by your body, by the strategic plan, if you're meeting the expectations of your body, and then to provide feedback to you based on what you've submitted in your monthly report and how they line up with those things. It's similar. It feels similar to SRC, except there is no sort of tie-in to anybody's salary, and the representation, the voting members are someone from Senate, someone from Finance Board, someone from each of the departments in the executive branch, because they each all have to submit a monthly report. So communications submits one, extended connections. If there are other departments, the executive, so they all submit monthly reports. The executive vice president the president and myself, or my designee, and then so those would be the voting members. Then there's also either the EVP, the VPSO, or the treasurer as a voting member. And then all of the members of the steering committee can be ex officio members. So the speaker, the assistant speaker, the chair, the vice chair, they are all ex officio. The treasurer, the VPSO, the EVP, unless they are serving on the committee, as per this explanation. And someone from the retriever can also sit on as ex officio member. And the decisions of the strategic plan committee are not subject to veto, which it's a feedback committee, really is what it is, to provide feedback on your monthly reports as departments.
Cool. Yeah, I do remember now. We talked about this in our previous steering committee, and I was very in favor of it.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a natural extension of the strategic plan to make sure that we're hitting all the benchmarks. So I like this idea a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like to me, it sounds like another way of holding our strategic plan and plan of organization accountable. So I personally I am all for it, and I would like to hear everyone else's input.
Yeah, I was also going to say that it seems really great, especially for organization's sake. And like Kai and Wendy both mentioned, accountability and just having everything like organized in one cohesive format. So I'm definitely for it.
Yeah, thanks, Mario. My thoughts exactly.
One of the things, if I could just say, specifically to some of the younger members of the Senate here, considering a bylaw change, especially like this, is really important, to like really kind of think through all the possibilities, not just sort of what it says on paper, but also what it could become. I definitely support this, but I think that one of the things that is always worth considering is like how could this be misused, or how could this be made into something that it maybe doesn't say on paper, but it turns into. One of the things that I think of immediately is like, you know, our job as a Senate is to always try to collaborate with the executive branch, but also to make sure we're holding them in check as well. And so just to make sure that we're kind of thinking of that as we go forward with this. Again, I do support it, but I want to put that out there to just everyone to think about, and make sure that we're all on board with this.
Yes, I do agree with you, Patrick.
And sorry, let me clarify I realized now when I said to the younger members of the Senate, I meant just because since you are sort of the future of the organization, sort of how would you see this functioning in 2 years and 3 years time? I didn't mean in any way like seniority versus anything else. I just meant like how would you see your SGA when you know it's your senior year and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, excellent point. Yes.
Can I say something?
Of course.
I just feel like this is a bit similar to the stipend committee because we basically do all of this, except that we actually do have more influence because, you know, we're voting on whether you should get your full stipend, partial, half, or none. And I don't know if this is completely necessary, even though I do realize the benefits of this because we do go through everyone's weekly reports that they can send in, and we look at that and decide if they have. Basically, we do provide them feedback on what they can improve with. But yeah, I don't know if this is completely necessary, and that's my only concern because I don't want people doing something that kind of already exists. But if there's a way to um, basically work with what we do have, which is the stipend committee, we can maybe like if people want more feedback, we could provide that for them as well. Do you like? I just don't know if we should be creating something new rather than working on what we do have.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Yes, Wendy.
I think that's a great point to raise up, especially after what Patrick said. I think it's important that we like don't create something that we don't need. But I also do think that we do need this because with stipend review committee, we mostly go off of our hire letters, and a lot of it's very individual. We don't really evaluate how SGA is doing as a whole. And I think that our commitment to the student body goes beyond just our individual officers fulfilling their role, but are the visions and goals of SGA like as a unit working? And I think that kind of like top-down approach needs a little bit more attention than we can give it. And SRC meetings are already pretty long as they are. I'm worried that we wouldn't be able to fully address this.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between this and sides of like, if is it necessary, is it not necessary? Because both sides bring up really good points. I'm leaning towards it is not necessary, in my opinion, because in your hire letter, in my opinion, at least as a senator, it correlates towards the strategic plan. And if the strategic plan was just technically based off of all of the roles that each SGA official was supposed to do, I don't feel like having a strategic plan review committee is necessary because SLC once again already covers that. And if an individual officer wants to know like recommendations or how they want to do better, you would think they would go to the speaker or the person over them, or maybe the president or vice president, or just go to the committee itself. That's why we have the whole appeal system. So I'm just kind of torn between creating extra work and something that isn't necessarily the most necessary thing at the moment, I feel.
Julius, I definitely hear your point there. What I would say about this is like, I think SRC is sort of very much like you check a box, like this person did this or they didn't do this, right? I think the point of the strategic plan review committee is to sort of have a more abstract, like, does this follow the guidelines of like what the strategic plan is for this semester/year? So I think it lends itself to more abstract, like, is this meeting like how we want to move as an SGA? But I do agree, like, I think that is very important that we sort of hold ourselves to the strategic plan. Wow, cannot pronounce that tonight. But I think that there might be a better vehicle for that than like a standalone committee. I feel like we already struggle enough to sort of have an SRC committee that meets for an ungodly amount of hours over the weekend. I don't see where this would just time-wise fit in to sort of how we want to spend our time, I guess, as senators and stuff. So I would almost say we should table this until Murshad can come to the meeting, but that's just my opinion.
I agree with that too, because also I do think like we all do know our roles and responsibilities as well. So if someone isn't doing their job, like we had a meeting before where we kind of people addressed each other. It's like we held each other accountable, and I feel like that we should do that. Like that's like almost like I just don't know if this is like again necessary because I feel like the job of this committee like it's almost to baby these officers, and it's like we all do know our responsibilities, and if someone isn't doing it, it's because either they have a reason, like maybe it's a tough semester for them and personal reasons, or B, they just don't care as much, and then that's when we can other people can step in and be like, let's hold them a little bit more accountable without like being aggressive, obviously. But again, I just don't know if this is really necessary, and I do think Murshad should come and explain it more.
I got a text from Naila Benet saying that she also agrees with Patrick and on tabling this till Mashard comes. I think that might be best if people are still kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, most definitely. So I'm hearing that General, we're going to table this until Mashal can speak more and to clarify and get more of a better understanding of how we feel about it. So I will reach out to Rashad later tonight, knowing that this will be tabled until next week. Wait, point of order. Candace, when we table things, do we have to vote or can it be unanimous or general?
And if there's no, if there's no objection, then you don't have to vote.
Okay. So, is there any objection? C'est la vie. There's no.
So you have to move to table, and then there has to be a second, and then if there's no objections, you can.
Gotcha. Is there a motion on the floor to table?
I move to table.
All right, we got to move to table. Is there a second? Monty says second in the chat. Okay. Is there general consensus? Yeah. C'est la vie. It's general. All right. I will notify Rashad to come to our meeting next week to discuss more about this. Time being, let's move on to initiative updates. And if I remember correctly, Julius, could you start us off?
No real initiative updates. This week I had to go home. As you can see, I'm now in my house, so that's kind of took up most of my time preparing myself to go home, and also having to pick up my brother, which he's like 2 hours away in Richmond. So that kind of took up my entire week for the most part. So I'm hoping that I should be able to get back on track in terms of getting this done and trying to just begin the process. Also, I missed my meeting with B because things just didn't line up. So trying to just make that happen is more or less my objective at this point.
Yeah, most definitely. Thanks, Julius. And how is your Constitution guidelines going on? How's that coming along?
Yeah, like I said, I have put that one on hold. There is a document, and I have written some stuff, but it isn't definitely not completed whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But it does have some stuff. I do plan on getting back into it and trying to type it up soon. Really would have did a lot of stuff today or maybe yesterday had I not literally messed up my eye. But we're gonna leave that alone, and I just continue to try to just get some stuff done.
Yeah, most definitely. All right. Thank you, Julius. Emmanuel.
Hello again. Actually, I'm very excited. That's where I'm at right now. I had my meeting with Adam, and so far so good. I have my, what I'm trying to bring out. It's ready to go. So I'm gonna send that out to communications tomorrow, and yeah. Also, I'm gonna leave it in the chat so you guys can check it out. So I'm gonna put it right here. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Keep in mind to give a week's notice for the communications department for anything they're going to create and send out.
Oh, week notice?
Yes. If you plan on submitting a request tomorrow, and also keep in mind of the holiday week, I would give them some leeway in time. So probably, I don't. Yeah, I need more due to this upcoming Thanksgiving weekend. So do keep that in mind. But yes, sound wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Manuel. Wendy.
Sorry, I accidentally almost closed the tab. I'm trying to do some more outreach, but this week has not been my most productive, and yeah, I need to reschedule a couple of meetings because of Thanksgiving break. So hopefully that can happen before our next Senate meeting.
Grazie, grazie. Yeah, I had a thought, but I forgot it. But I'll bring it back once I remember. But yes, thanks, Wendy. Mati.
I can read their comment in the chat since you're screen sharing. So for updates, apart from the SOST event last weekend, I had nothing else. Also, with the nature of this week and the fact it'll be quite busy before Thursday, I had nothing really planned for the week.
Yeah, it's difficult to do things with the upcoming holiday week, so understandable.
And it looks like Mati also created a Google form for her collaboration initiative and shared it with Joshua Gray, and she'll send that to student orgs later.
Most definitely. Thanks, Mati. Kayla is not here with us for today. Mario, do you mind giving us your update?
Yeah, my primary initiative, I don't really have any solid updates for that, but our grid starter for the free menstrual products initiative just got approved today. So I am going to coordinate with the communications department for marketing hopefully next week. And yeah, that's all I have.
Yay! Illumina through with us. Very excited. But yes, thanks, Mati. Or I'm sorry, Mario. For the for putting together this whole Grid Starter campaign. I really appreciate it and extend my thanks for all your hard work within it because it's been a back and forth situation. So yes, thank you so much. Mena.
Hi, so I need to update this as well. Sorry, because I need to take the first part out since that's complete. For the second one, my second initiative, so I actually was able to meet with both Ryan and Kayla from the department, the Office of Sustainability, and we discussed my initiative, and we thought we should table it for now, basically because we both realized that there was a big problem with students um, not really understanding the. Sorry, one second. We have a problem with, oh my God, I keep forgetting that word. Um, what's it called? I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I keep forgetting. Oh, I forgot it again. Okay, basically, there's a problem with the students not really knowing how to recycle probably, and it leads to contamination. Contamination. Oh my God, I can't say that word. Okay, yes, that's what it does. And so they didn't want to do the recycling initiative just yet because they're scared that it can potentially do more harm than good. Because as we said, like students don't really know how to recycle properly, and that can make sure like that basically leads to the entire recycle bin being thrown out instead of like being sent to the recycling bin. I mean, recycling the station, I guess. So anyway, we thought to work with that first, and also there's a matter of there's a lot of funds being cut right now, so we thought it's better to just work on an education, reaching out to students instead and informing them rather than anything right now that also involves money. So I'll be working with them on this in both the compost bins and sorry, the compost trays in the dorms. Basically, the education matter. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's my update.
Cool. Do you think there could be a conversation later into the future, probably post COVID, about starting up the recycle thing?
Yeah. So we just wanted to wait for now because also we did reach out to Towson and asked them because they have the same thing in their dorms, and they gave us their research about it, and they did realize that like with the recycle bins being incorporated, there wasn't that much improvement in basically overall recycling being done. So we're thinking of ways to first, so basically they said like we'll wait on it for now and work more on the education matter of like informing the students. That's why when we finally spend the money, we can make sure it's actually beneficial and not just an empty type of, yeah, we helped with sustainability, but nothing really was done. And we're thinking working with like the new students more overall because it's easier to one start them, start students here in UMBC fresh and who will be able to like pass down the tradition to other students. But yeah, that's what we gathered. And I do still really want to do this initiative because I still think it's beneficial. So I will continue to push them next semester. But for now, this is what we've come to.
Cool.
Right. Thank you.
Sounds great. You sounds like you got a lot of ideas in place and you're working for it. So wonderful. Thank you, Meta.
All right. Thank
Nayla Benet, I know you're on a call.
So she texted me that she completed all of her goals and she's not really doing too much this week just because of Thanksgiving. But
Gotcha. Well, I hope you have fun in Alabama. I don't even know where that is on the map. I think it's somewhere over there. Patrick.
Hey, what's going on? This week I really struggled to get sort of any traction on some of the stuff we're working on right now. I'm hoping that by sort of the end of this year, we've at least got in writing that like people are willing to kind of move this project forward on a little bit more firm footing. But I don't have any goals for this coming week either. Just I need this week definitely to just kind of reset. Been struggling in some of my classes and such. So.
Oh, I felt that. Yes, please take this long weekend as a time to refuel yourself and take like a mental break. I think we all need it, so I really felt you on that. It's next to Georgia. Where is Georgia? Isn't that a country in Europe? Z. Oh,
Yes, it's in the Caucasus.
oh, I'm sorry.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue.
I said, yeah, Georgia's a country in the Caucasus. So, does anyone want to like help me co-host this winter event during December or January?
Can you share more about that? See?
It's going to be a movie and or game night. I'm also reaching out to SEB to see if they have any ideas or can offer any assistance. But I like a little bit of like a social thing because I think there's going to be even further like feelings of isolation and depression that come with the winter months. And so I'm trying to get like a sort of get together event for students so that it's sort of like an online social thing.
Candace, is SGA allowed to collaborate with SEB and other
Yeah.
orgs? Okay, I remember that being something like that being an issue last long time ago because of conflict of interest due to the budget.
Yeah, I mean, you can collaborate with them. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. Keep us updated on your collaborative outreach towards SCB. I don't know who their public PR person is or their social media coordinator is.
Is it Ben Clark? Is he working for them again?
Is it Ben Clark?
He works for us too.
He does. Well, I'm sure it's on the SCB website somewhere. Cool. Thanks, Z. Initiative regarding my side, I met with the president of RSA and we're talking about monies on how to go about with the menstrual product initiative. I also had a meeting with a member from OntFlow to get inquiries about monies. Everything is monies. And it's a lot more than we anticipated. So the FYAs and I are looking for grants to apply to, as well as we found some data on terms of the peer institutions of what they've achieved through the menstrual products, and the peer institutions will really support our proposal. Meeting with Jack this Wednesday to finalize on how we can collaborate financially on this, as well as forming this proposal together. As Maria stated, we got our Grid Starter campaign up and running. We're just waiting on communications to fill out a graphic for that, as well as the Amazon online drive. And as soon as that is out, we will be sending it out to all the organizations that have either came to our meeting or we have spoken to that wanted to participate in this initiative. Ooh, okay. Maria, speaking of on Flow, do we need to have their trademark on our Grid Star campaign? Yes, Candace, that was a question asked by Palumi, and we have no idea what that means.
Oh, so Ptolemy asked that?
Yes.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to have it. Are you doing it with your? Is this money going towards you purchasing things from them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have a media kit that they could pull from. Hold on. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think you could just email your contact there and say, we want to be able to include your information on our fundraising page. Is there a media kit you have?
Okay. To representative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that I shall do.
Okay.
Thank you, Candice.
You're welcome. I didn't give you, that wasn't a real answer, but you're welcome.
No, I was like, trademark. Oh gosh, now we're getting into legal stuff and I don't know anything about politics. Cool. With that, that is our initiative update. Are there any questions? No?
Hi, yeah, I had a quick question. I'm sorry, it's actually not going to be quick. So this is for Emmanuel's infographic. So first of all, I can tell that you took a lot of time and effort in making it, but I do have a lot of concerns about some of this, especially the quick tip section. If anyone wants to view it, he sent it in the OBEX Teams Senate chat. And if you look at the top left, I think that some of this information seems a little problematic to me because it can trigger people who struggle with disordered eating or their relationship with food, like weighing their food or counting calories or only having low calorie condiments or sauces. And that's just one thing I wanted to point out. Sorry, my question was, have you spoken to like a dietitian about this or anyone who has a little more information?
Yeah, I actually spoke to the dietitian about it. That was what the meeting about. That was what we had the meeting about. So he asked me to send him the document, which I already did send it. So send it to him. So I assume he's reviewing it right now. What was your question on it actually?
No, I just wanted to check if you had like a dietitian or someone confirm that this was okay, but first the student body. If you could let me know how he responds, that would be great.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We briefly went over it actually. Of course the response was positive, like I said, but he asked me to send him the documents, which I actually did. So I think I'll probably hold him, for sending it out to communication, but I just put it out there on the Senate so you guys can actually view it. So, but yeah, I can assure you it's 100% certified, and also, of course, it's gonna review it, and then I'll get back to you on that.
If I could also like chime in on this,
Come
I
again?
like after reading the infographic, I think that like a lot of the issue for me is just kind of the language that's presented, not so much the like content, but the way the language is presented. Like, for instance, it says like the last one is any low calorie condiments or sauces are okay. I think like that kind of sets kind of like a boundary of like if you go anything above or below, then that's wrong and that's not okay. And like Wendy said, for people with disordered eating or a bad relationship with food, that can kind of make them feel as though, you know, that's something that's once again like out of their control. So I feel like if you change the language to be
Okay.
more open to like fluctuation of like calories or like what you're doing with the food, that could be more I don't know the word I'm trying to use, but that could be
Can you point
more
can you,
comfortable for the viewer.
which one are you talking about? Can you point it out to me, please?
Yeah, it's the very last one that says any low calorie condiments or sauces are okay.
Oh yeah.
Diet and 0-calorie drinks are okay. Like just the language of that makes it feel like if you do something that's outside of that parameter, then it wouldn't be okay. And for people who have like really bad relationships with food, that's kind of like the main issue, that certain things are not allowed to eat or to do. So I think if you like alter the language to just be more flexible, that
Okay.
could like help it a lot too.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I think like I don't have a problem with like anything that you said as like a general concept. Just the wording can be a little iffy with
Okay.
like everything should be weighed or like assigning like moral values to food. It's just a little bit like of a gray area for me.
Okay. Yeah. I get you. Thanks for your comments.
Thanks so much for
Hi,
answering.
this
I'm
is
glad that you reached out about like the dietitian stuff. This is great.
wait, so sorry to ask, but so this is for what type of diet is this following? Is it this calorie deficit?
Yeah, calorie cutting. Yeah, and it's followed by a workout plan also.
No, this is amazing that you did so much work, and the things that someone who this semester started to try to be more happy on campus as it's really difficult right now, especially with a lot of things cut out. I think this is really amazing. Like the little tips you include with like, for example, we have to work with our meal plan, so going to Starbucks. A lot of us, yeah, like a lot of us go to Starbucks because we just want to use some of our meal swipes, and you offering like healthier options on like what basically working with our meal plan, I think is really great.
Thanks.
But just like the others said, just working more with making sure that we can work more to avoid anyone who could potentially be triggered by any of the language said in
Wow.
this document would be something to work on.
All right, I'll make a mention of that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for this feedback. Something I didn't initially notice, so I'm glad that y'all were able to point that out. Patrick says in the chat maybe some resources at the end for Edie. Cool. Are there any more discussion points that we would like to talk about before moving forward? Yes, I want to echo what Meta says. The PDF you sent, it looks really good, and just want to, I don't know if congratulate you is the right word, but good job. I'm not good with words, if you can tell, but yes, good job. Okay, are there any shared governance committee updates? Yeah.
Yeah, I had classroom committee on Friday. Yep, that's the date, Friday. And I do have a document. It's in the SGC file and ship, SGA ship, file, folder,
Yes, I'm pulling it up now. This one's the right one.
No, go forward. That was a different committee. It should be on the classroom committee.
Oh, is it not this one?
No, that was the 13th. This one was on the 20th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess the big thing they were talking about was if especially this is more or less if you're a residential student or like if you have to come in on campus, there's like a COVID-19 compliance feature that was added to my UMBC, which basically like, fill it out to make sure you still have your approval to be on campus and stuff like that. You have to fill out today's symptom tracking for, 5 out of 7 days and like it tracks you. It's pretty simple. It was pretty cool. They also talked about some of the WebEx updates that can, WebEx updates. Interesting thing I found was just the meeting reports, which basically like you can track like who was in your meeting, how long they were in your meeting, how many people attended your meeting, and then there's also like a little like ratio scaling thing where you can see like say like you invited like 20 people, you can see like how many of those 20 people actually showed up to your meeting. So it could be a good way to keep attendance and see like, stuff like that. And also there is a WebEx assistant that helps with closed captions and writes up a transcript of what was recorded if you have the meeting recorded. So that could possibly help us and other people with like recording minutes. Also, they talk about the breakout rooms and just the details behind that. Furthermore, we have hybrid classes. Once again, they brought that up, how they're continuing. We have gotten like the 4 classes approved from the last time we had our meeting, and basically they're just talking about what features will be in these classrooms and how they'll be online in spring of 2021. Another thing they talked about was just a survey about the pivot classes, and they had some positive, had some negatives, mostly positive. If like it depend to me when I was hearing it, I think it depended on how well the teachers were able to translate their own experience with the technology, because students were saying like the teachers weren't very receptive, poor communication, felt like they went too fast with the info, things like that. But on the other side, you had teachers that were really good with the tech and able to really support their students. They made the classes simpler, easier to get through, stuff like that. So I feel like it was a really toss up in terms of how well the the pivot classes happen. And of course, it's like the first semester we're doing this, so I feel like over time the teachers will get better in this sort of climate. Theoretically, if we continue to have hybrid classes after COVID-19 is over, which I 100% expect us to have eventually expect us to have this thing where like at UMC you can have your online classes, your hybrid classes, and just in-person classes. I believe if you scroll down, I don't know if I wrote anything else. That may be it. Yeah, that was what we talked about basically. So any questions or points, stuff like that?
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say these notes look really great. Thanks for being so thorough.
Right, thank you.
Julius, do you know any more information about the survey? It says that there was poor communication, move fast through info.
What I was typing there was basically when the lady was showing off the PowerPoint. She was first showing off like the pros that she basically kind of gathered from the survey, and then the cons. So that's kind of what I typed up. Some of the pros, not all of it. There's a lot to type, but just pros and cons. So that's really what that is. And some of the stuff was like the same across the board, because the survey, of course, had different topics in terms of like what they were evaluating. And the thing, all like like semester half syndrome or poor communication. That had just showed up in like all the different topics. So that's kind of what I was trying to essentially point out. I would probably have to email the person again. Like, I believe it was Pamela Hawley who did the presentation on that pivot survey. If you want to reach out to her about that, I believe it was her that heads that. Don't quote me on that.
Cool. Yeah. No, I was just wanted to know, like, on which side was it from? Was it from like a student's perspective, or was
This was
it?
all from the students, like because we a while back, maybe at the beginning of November, we would if you were in these classes, you'll be sent a survey asking give your opinion, fill it out, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Thanks, Julius. Very
No
thorough.
problem.
Very, very thorough. Thank you. Are there any more SGC updates?
IT steering committee had their first meeting on Friday as well, and so basically what I was going to say is what Julius already said. They brought up the pivot surveys as well, so Julius covered the gist of it, and they were just like wondering if there was like anything else that any senators wanted to add as to like their perspective as to how their professors were handling classes. Like a big one that Julius already brought up was that like students really felt overwhelmed, and like like there'd be like a set course schedule in place, and then professors would just like randomly like add a bunch of assignments out of nowhere last minute, and that was like a really big thing that was like mentioned within the surveys.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were just wondering if like anybody else like from Senate or SGA had anything to add to that as to their experiences, and they were really looking forward to getting more feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I did have one thing to say to this. So my professors are usually very, they like keep track, follow the syllabus, which I really appreciate. But I had I think one professor this semester who's basically we're supposed to meet up Mondays and Wednesdays, and he told us from the beginning of the semester that we'd only have to meet up on Monday, and like Wednesdays reserved for our test dates, so we didn't have to basically go to class on Wednesdays because whenever we had an exam, that was a day. And because of that, I arranged my schedule that my Wednesdays would be more free during that time because he didn't tell us that we would, besides my exam days. But then halfway through the semester, he switched it around and said Wednesday will be our class time and Monday will be our exam dates. And I just thought that was weird that he never gave a heads up in the beginning of the semester because, like, for me, I was I rearranged my schedule because I thought, that was just my one complaint. Like this, he's just being also more because teachers have changed things. Like usually they would hold classes both on Mondays and Wednesdays, but then he thought it would be better to like just have class on one day only. And he what I mean? Like, he just changed things around with the online classes, but then he didn't really keep in mind how he didn't organize it to the best of his ability. So just as if any other professor is doing that, because I do know some classes only meet up once instead of twice. For some students too, because I've had a friend who also had that happen to her. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely I'm gonna email them back with like more feedback, and I'll include that for sure. Out of curiosity, I was wondering if that was like a STEM class or was it like not a STEM class?
STEM class. I think STEM classes follow the syllabus a bit more. I feel like
Yeah.
non-STEM classes are more like carefree with the
Mm-hmm.
structure of classes, just from my experience.
Yeah, mine too. That's exactly what I told them too.
Yeah, I don't know why, because my friend also was the one who a non-STEM class did that same thing. But again, I thought it was just weird that he never just gave the heads up in the beginning of the semester that we would change our schedule around halfway. And he kind of expected it, like he was like not as understanding because he was like, well, I mean, this is our class time, so you guys should have left this time slot open. Like, I don't know, it was a bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to bring something up, but I don't know if this would go underneath this committee. But more than a handful of people actually have reached out to me about a pass-fail situation, and I also have noticed that the petition that was started up is getting more and more traction. So I just wanted to know how they are handling this, if it is under their jurisdiction. If not, I don't know whose jurisdiction this would go under.
Yeah, they didn't mention it, but I will be sure to ask them about it. I don't think it would fall underneath their jurisdiction, but I'm not 100% sure either, so I'll double check with that.
Okay. I'm not sure if it will go under classroom committee or IT, but it is a sticky situation. That is. Yeah. Thanks, Mario. Are there any other shared governance committee updates? Doesn't sound like it. So let's go on to announcements. Is there any announcements? B.
Hi, folks. So I know that I was supposed to have meetings with some of y'all last week for Senator one-on-ones. However, I was sick with chronic illness stuff, so I wasn't able to do those meetings, nor was I able to make those up. So since we're in Thanksgiving week right now, I just say that we'll restart again next week. Because I'm not gonna have y'all make up the meetings from last week this week because it's Thanksgiving. I know most of y'all are already with family or in the transition to moving to see family. So be safe, and we will just pick back up where we left off next week. However, if you do need to see me for any reason this week, I am available tomorrow and Wednesday. So just let me know on WebEx Teams. Thank you.
Thanks, B. Any more announcements? See, okay, I don't want to put Emmanuel out there on blast, but I just want to say congratulations to Emmanuel. I don't know if you saw the Facebook post, but congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
My man's engaged. Wow.
Engaged, guys. Thanks, guys.
That's amazing. Congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations!
Yay! Thanks.
Dressed up in all white, y'all two so
Wow.
together. Very
Okay.
so fresh, clean. I had to put you on blast there, Emmanuel. Sorry, but y'all's photos were on point. It was really cute.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much.
Okay, and with that being said, there are no more announcements. I adjourn the meeting at 7:20 p.m. on the dot. Whoa, let's go. Let me end this recording.